Namaste everyone. Today our topic of concern is Introduction to the Autonomic Pharmacology. In this video we are only going to discuss about the basics of the autonomic nervous system. So let's get started. So before understanding the autonomic pharmacology, first of all we have to understand the basic nervous system of the human body. So the nervous system of the human body is divided into two parts: central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system includes basically brain and spinal cord, while apart from this the peripheral nervous system includes all the neurons except brain and spinal cord. So the peripheral nervous system is actually, you can say, located in all over the body. So the peripheral nervous system is further divided into two parts: the autonomic nervous system and the somatic nervous system. Somatic nervous system, the neurons of the somatic nervous system are basically going to the skeleton system, while the autonomic nervous system is further divided into two parts, that is sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. So before we go into the details of these nervous system, first of all let's know about the areas of the autonomic nervous system. So the areas that are included in the autonomic nervous system are: number 1, brain; number 2, eyes; number 3, urinary bladder; number 4, uterus; number 5, blood vessels; number 6, I don't know I say about the eyes or not, eyes. So the GIT, other area, and also the basic all are the areas which are included under the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic centers of the nervous system is basically present in the medulla oblongata, hypothalamus and the spinal cord, but the major ones are located in the hypothalamus. Now let's talk about the most interesting part of this discussion, that is sympathetic nervous system versus the parasympathetic nervous system. I like this discussion very much. First let's talk about the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so parasympathetic nervous system is a cholinergic system. Parasympathetic nervous system is a cholinergic system. Parasympathetic system, the receptors includes muscarinic receptors and nicotinic receptors both. Muscarinic receptors are basically of 5 types, which are found: M1 receptors, M2 receptors, M3, M4 and M5, while the nicotinic receptors includes NM and NS. So the parasympathetic nervous system is basically rest and digest. Now first let's understand this term rest. It means you have to learn only 2 words: rest and digest. In parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest. Number 1 is rest. For example, your heart rate, if you are resting, your heart rate decreases. If you are resting, your pupil contracts. If you are relaxing, your blood vessels are dilating, so that the blood flow decreases and that the BP decreases. So that's all. I think that's all for rest. Now digest. In digest, your salivation increases, your GIT activity increases, your urinary activity. While you are digesting your food, the urinary activity also increases. So high urinary bladder activity increases. So you can basically say that the exocrine secretion increases, bronchoconstriction increases, and next is for eyes I can say the contraction is also known as meiosis. Next is the sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system, you only have to learn 2 words: fight or flight. For parasympathetic, you have learned rest and digest. For sympathetic, you have to learn fight or flight. So by this is opposing effect, and the interesting thing is these opposing effect helps our body to maintain the equilibrium. So that's all for this discussion. We have learned about the basics of the autonomic nervous system, parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, the receptors of the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, and we are going into the details about this in the next topic, that is cholinergic drugs and the cholinergic system. So today the basic thing is that the parasympathetic nervous system includes cholinergic system and the sympathetic nervous system is the adrenergic system. So that's all for today.